What if I told you that Jerome Powell sits in a control room with the power to change every traffic light in America with the push of a button? Meet Marcus, driving through downtown Economic City, approaching the intersection of Money Street and Growth Avenue. Yesterday, the light was red for 5 minutes, keeping everyone stopped and frustrated. But today, traffic controller Powell flipped a switch, and suddenly the lights are green for miles. Everyone's zooming forward at once. Welcome to the fascinating world of the Federal Reserve, where one small group of people controls the economic traffic flow for 330 million Americans. Today, we're breaking down the Federal Reserve through the synchronized world of traffic lights. Let's navigate this intersection of power and economics. What is the Federal Reserve? The Great Traffic Control Center. Meet our hero, Marcus, cruising through Economic City, where the most important building isn't City Hall or the bank. It's the Federal Reserve Traffic Control Center, a mysterious tower overlooking every intersection in America. Inside, Chairman Powell and his team monitor thousands of screens showing traffic patterns from coast to coast. Watch Marcus's confusion as he approaches the interest rate intersection. The light was solid red yesterday. High interest rates, keeping most cars stopped and waiting. Businesses couldn't get loans easily. People weren't buying houses, and the economic traffic was crawling. But today, Powell announces a light adjustment, and suddenly Marcus sees green lights stretching into the distance. But here's the economic plot twist. These aren't just regular traffic lights. They're smart economic lights that control how fast money flows through the economy. When Powell sets lights to green, cuts interest rates. Money zooms through the system like rush hour traffic. When he switches to red, raises rates, everything slows to a crawl. Marcus isn't just driving, he's part of a massive economic experiment. Watch the immediate effect as Powell's green light decision ripples through the city. Car dealerships suddenly have lines of customers, real estate offices buzz with activity, and even the local coffee shop has people discussing business expansions. The traffic light change didn't just affect driving, it changed everyone's economic behavior. The stick figures signal confusion. Let's follow Bob through his day as the great light change affects his entire life. Bob wakes up to news alerts. Fed signals green lights ahead, but Bob's thinking, so what? I take the bus to work anyway. Watch Bob's realization unfold as he discovers the traffic lights control more than just cars. His mortgage payment drops because his variable rate is tied to the Fed's signal system. His credit card company sends an email about lower rates. Even his boss mentions expanding the business because the financial traffic is finally moving again. By lunch, Bob's at the bank asking about that business loan he's been considering for his food truck dream. See Bob's amazement as the loan officer explains, "It's like Powell turned our red lights green. We can offer you much better terms now." Bob's 18% interest rate quote from last month just dropped to 8%. The traffic signal change put Bob's dreams within reach. But here's where Bob gets confused. His savings account interest drops at the same time his loan rates improve. The green lights that make borrowing easier also make saving less rewarding. Bob discovers he's experiencing both sides of Powell's traffic management. Easier to spend and borrow, harder to save and wait. The economic traffic network, every light is connected. Let's explore different intersections in Economic City, each one controlled by Powell's master system. Meet the Williams family driving through various districts, each experiencing the Fed's traffic management differently. Dad Williams drives through Main Street Business District, where Powell's green lights have created a traffic boom. Local businesses are expanding, hiring more workers, and taking out loans for equipment. Watch Dad's excitement as his construction company gets 3 new contracts in 1 week. Everyone's building now that the financial traffic is flowing smoothly. Mom Williams navigates Wall Street Financial District, where the green lights create a different kind of rush hour. Stock prices surge as investors pile into riskier investments, fleeing the boring savings account side streets that now barely pay anything. See Mom's dilemma as her conservative portfolio suddenly looks foolish in a green light economy. Teenager Tyler Williams discovers the consumer spending superhighway, where Powell's green lights make everything more affordable. Car loans, credit cards, and student loans all offer better terms. Tyler can finally afford that college he wanted. But watch his parents' concern as they realize green lights encourage spending that might be hard to handle if the lights turn red again. The traffic pattern psychology. when everyone drives the same way. Now we witness the fascinating behavior changes when Powell adjusts the city's traffic flow. Meet cautious Catherine, who's always been a careful driver, staying in the slow lane with her money safely parked in Savings Street. But Powell's green lights have turned Savings Street into a parking lot, barely moving, barely paying anything. Watch Catherine's reluctant transformation as she's forced to enter faster-moving lanes. She starts investing in stocks, buying real estate, and taking financial risks she never considered before. Catherine represents millions of savers pushed out of safety by Powell's green light policy, the search for yield traffic pattern. Meet speed racer Rick, who loves Powell's green light system. Rick borrows money to buy rental properties, starts 3 businesses, and leverages everything he can. See Rick zooming through green light after green light, convinced the good times will last forever. Rick embodies the risk-on mentality that green lights create, but what happens when the lights change? But here's the traffic jam forming ahead. Asset Bubble Boulevard is getting dangerously crowded. Housing prices skyrocket as easy credit creates bidding wars. Stock prices climb as everyone piles into the same investments. Powell's green lights have created prosperity, but also traffic jams and asset prices that might require red lights to clear. The great signal switch. When Powell hits the brakes. Here's where our story takes a dramatic turn. Economic Cities traffic is moving so fast that accidents are starting to happen. Inflation Avenue is completely jammed with rising prices. And Speculation Speedway has cars racing at dangerous speeds. Watch Powell's difficult decision as he announces, "We need to restore traffic safety with signal adjustments." See the city's shock as Powell switches key intersections from green back to red. The Easy Credit Superhighway suddenly has stop signs every block. Rick's business expansion plans screech to a halt as loan rates jump from 5% to 10%. The real estate market goes from rush hour to rush minute as buyers disappear. Watch Catherine's mixed emotions as Powell's red lights finally make Savings Street attractive again. Her conservative investments start paying decent returns, but she's surrounded by financial carnage from drivers who got caught speeding when the lights changed. Catherine's patience during green light times is finally being rewarded. Meet over-leveraged Oliver, who borrowed heavily during the green light era and now faces financial disaster. His adjustable rate loans just became unaffordable. His business can't get additional credit, and his leveraged investments are crashing. Oliver represents the dangerous side of Powell's traffic control. When lights change quickly, some drivers can't stop in time. The traffic controller's dilemma, the impossible balance. As Economic City struggles with Powell's red light policy, we witness the Fed's impossible challenge. Too many green lights create dangerous speeding and asset bubbles. Too many red lights create economic gridlock and unemployment. Powell must balance growth with stability, knowing any decision affects millions of lives. Watch Powell's war room as he analyzes traffic data, unemployment rates, inflation reports, and economic growth statistics. Every light change ripples through the entire system. Make lights too green, and you get reckless financial behavior. Make them too red, and the economy stops moving entirely. Meet critic Carol, who protests outside the Fed building. Why does one man control all our traffic lights? This is too much power for any group. Carol represents growing questions about Fed independence and democratic accountability. Should traffic control be more transparent, or does effective management require quick, confidential decisions? But here's Powell's ultimate challenge. He's managing traffic for an economy where everyone wants green lights when it helps them personally, but red lights when it helps them as consumers or savers. Small businesses want green lights for loans, but red lights to control inflation. Savers want red lights for better returns, but green lights for job growth. Powell can't satisfy everyone simultaneously. Conclusion: every light tells a story. So there you have it. The Federal Reserve explained through the synchronized world of traffic lights. Whether it's interest rates, money supply, or economic growth, the Fed controls the flow of financial traffic for the entire nation. Watch Marcus completing his drive through Economic City, understanding he's not just navigating traffic, he's living within a managed economic system where a small group of experts tries to optimize prosperity for everyone. Every light change affects his job, his savings, his loans, and his future. Remember, the Fed isn't just setting interest rates. They're managing the flow of economic activity across the entire country. Green lights encourage risk-taking and growth, but can create bubbles and inflation. Red lights prevent crashes, but can cause unemployment and recession. The timing of these changes affects everyone differently. The key takeaways: someone has to control economic traffic flow, or chaos would result. The Fed's power is enormous, but necessary for modern economies. Their decisions create winners and losers, often unintentionally. Understanding their traffic patterns helps you position yourself for their signal changes. Recognizing Fed policy helps you navigate the economic intersections we all face. Maybe it's time to speed up during green light periods, or maybe it's time to slow down before the lights change. The choice is yours, but now you understand who's controlling the signals. Don't get caught in economic traffic jams without understanding the signals. Hit that subscribe button for more Stickonomics, where we make Federal Reserve policy as clear as a green light. And remember, in economics as in driving, the smartest travelers pay attention to upcoming signal changes, not just the current light. Powell's traffic control affects every financial decision you make, so learn to read the signs before they change.